everybody. My name is Jason Ramsberg. I'm the Creative Director for Entertainment here at Universal Studios Singapore at Resorts World Sentosa. My favorite haunted house that we've ever done so far in the last 3 years, it's called Adrift. Adrift is an ocean liner from 1910 that is for eternity floating in the sea. This haunted house is amazingly packed with special effects. We have illusions, we have fire effects, we have flame effects, we have water effects, we have shaking effects, the floor moves underneath of you. I can go on and on with the different effects that we have inside of this house. As the guests go through, they enter in through the boiler room and they actually get to see the inner workings of the ship. Then they make their way into the crew cabin. Then they go into the first class quarters. They get to go into the food area. They get to go outside to the deck. And I think what makes it most interesting is that our attention to detail is really spot on. You really feel like you are on the Titanic, if you will, back in 1910. Hands down, Adrift is my favorite haunted house that we've ever had. As the guests move into the streets of New York, they get to visit Attack of the Vampires. Attack of the Vampires is another period piece like Adrift. It is the turn of the century in New York City. Vampires have started to take over the street. We also have some werewolves. Again, what makes this area so special is the effects and the set. The set pieces are phenomenal in Attack of the Vampires. We also have a very involved stunt. One of the vampires will fly over top of the guest's head while all of the vampires attack all the people on the street. It's quite a fun experience at Attack of the Vampires. As the guests move into the streets of Egypt, they get to visit the 366th Annual Convention of Curses. All the wizards and warlocks and witches from all around the universe have gathered on the streets of Egypt. This is more of a fun zone rather than a scary zone. They get to go up and meet a dream catcher who's creating dreams. There's a really cool show there. That's something that for Halloween Horror Nights 3 we really wanted to beef up, was the live entertainment. Not only do you get to go through haunted scare zones and get to visit haunted houses, you also get to see live shows. So do not miss the show in Convention of Curses. As the guests move out of the Convention of Curses in Egypt, they get to visit our second haunted house, the Songs of Death. The story of the Maiden is she has turned jealous of the new girl on the block. There's a new girl who's rising in the ranks who threatens her position as the star of all of the shows. So she kills all of the new girls who try and take her role. The Maiden of the Opera is really cool because you get to go through a Chinese opera house. You get to go backstage, you get to walk across the stage, you walk through all the different zones of the opera, and this is the zone of Maiden of the Opera. After the Songs of Death, the guests get to visit the home of our third icon this year, the Crone of the Forest. Forbidden Forest is an entirely outside zone that takes place in the Jurassic Park area of the park. You really feel like you are inside of a jungle with the lighting and smoke effects and set pieces that we have given you. This place is really going to scare both locals and people that are from the region. This has a lot of Asian folklore, Malaysian, Singaporean, so you're going to see a lot of the ghosts that you are familiar with inside of the Forbidden Forest. And our final haunted house is House 13, also known as Possessions. I don't know if you guys know what hoarders are, but hoarders are people that collect things and keep them in their house. Well, we wanted to do something based on this concept. So the collector, who's the star of this haunted house, he has collected things over the years from all over the world, his travels. And these items have turned on him and are now coming after the guests. So in this instance, the haunted house itself is what actually attacks the guests. We have some very interesting effects in here, so you definitely cannot miss Possessions. I was joking with some colleagues earlier today, actually. This is the first time in my career that I feel like I don't know how we're going to outdo ourselves. I'm very proud to say that we have really raised the bar. With the addition of the new special effects that we've implemented, the new illusions, we know what we're doing now when it comes to the effects, the performers. We know how to scare people now. When you come to Halloween Horror Nights 3, it is a very immersive experience. You are placed inside of the story that we are trying to tell. So even if you're somebody who's not necessarily into being afraid, you have to come just to be placed inside of a real immersive horror experience. Because we've had some fairly good success in the last 2 years, this year's auditions, we actually got to select people. We had more than 800 people audition, and it's very interesting that we have over 400 performers, if you can believe that. 400 characters that are here to scare you. So the quality of the experience from a performance perspective has definitely raised due to the higher turnout. What's up, everybody? This is Jason Ramsberg. I'm the creative director for Universal Studios here at Resorts World Sentosa. You are watching Imagine TV. Do not miss Halloween Horror Nights 3. Let the evil begin.